Kevin Feige denies rumors that Robert Downey Jr. will return as Iron Man. I'm going to talk about that, but first, hi. My name is Jacob Berry. Welcome to Studio Jake. This is my vidcast where I talk about all things pop culture. Be sure to like this video, leave me a comment, tell me what you think, share it out to all your friends, and of course, subscribe. All right, so there's been a lot of rumors, and one I talked about on the Jester Bell live stream that Robert Downey Jr. is going to return as Iron Man, and then the Marvels kind of made this rumor go crazy because Robert Downey Jr.'s character had a cameo in one of the trailers. I think in the final trailer, him and Chris Evans as Captain America. The rumor that I discussed with Jester Bell is that Avengers Secret Wars is going to be about the Iron Man from the dimension in the multiverse of madness where Wanda killed, spoiler alert, Wanda, played by Elizabeth Olsen, she kills the Illuminati. And that Iron Man is furious that his friends are deceased, and so he brings a bunch of other characters that haven't been introduced in the MCU yet because of licensing issues. He brings them over into the main MCU dimension, and he has battle with the new Avengers, and it's going to be the superior Iron Man version, the one that used the white armor that was combined with the Venom symbiote. So that was the rumor, and Kevin Feige is saying, no, that's not true. We killed off that character. We're going to leave it that way. He was the opener, and he was the end of phase 3 as we know it. And so no more will Robert Downey Jr. return, maybe in flashbacks. No, I'm just kidding. He didn't even say that. He just said, no, we're not resurrecting that character. And this is according to boundingintocomics.com. It says Marvel Studios honcho Kevin Feige has shut down any rumors surrounding the return of Robert Downey Jr. to the MCU, making it very clear that the actor will never reprise the role of Tony Stark in future cinematic projects. In a Vanity Fair cover story that focuses on Downey Jr.'s career trajectory, Feige specifically stated that bringing back Iron Man following the events of Avengers Endgame, which concluded with Tony Stark making the ultimate sacrifice to save the universe, would be a disservice to the character. We're going to keep that moment and not touch that moment again, the Marvel Studios head declared, adding, we all worked very hard for many years to get to that, and we would never want to magically undo it anyway. Avengers Endgame co-director Joe Russo also commented on Downey Jr.'s last outing as the iconic Marvel hero, hammering down that they convinced the actor to read Iron Man's last line of dialogue by promising it would be the last time. We'd already said tearful goodbyes on the last day of shooting, recalled Russo. Everybody had moved on emotionally. He added, we promised him it would be the last time we made him do it ever. Earlier in November, rumors about Downey Jr. returning to the Marvel Cinematic Universe were doing rounds, leading credence to claims made by Variety's Tatiana Segal, who alleged sources say there have been talks to bring back the original gang for an Avengers movie. This would include reviving Robert Downey Jr.'s Iron Man and Scarlett Johansson's Black Widow, both of whom were killed off in Endgame, Siegel maintained. Feige's comments agree with those made by Marvel Studios producer Steven Broussard, who back in February told Gizmodo that Robert Downey Jr. was no longer on the table for future projects, as the focus at Marvel, at least at the time, that is, was on passing on the mantle to legacy characters. Okay, so basically they're in full denial about it. And, I go back and forth with this because honestly, to revive Marvel, you either have to do a full-on reboot, which now that the situation with King is happening, that would make sense. Bring in new actors, that might bring in some new fans, that might attract some old ones like myself, but ultimately they'll always be compared to the original actors. I had always said that they should have introduced the character of Arno Stark or Anthony Stark or Gregory Stark, depending on the writer, who is a relative of Tony. Again, depending on the writer, he's even a cousin or a younger brother. And sporadically throughout his appearances, he has posed as Iron Man. Really famously, when Captain Marvel, Carol Danvers, when she murdered Iron Man at the end of Civil War II, Arno Stark took on the role himself. that would be one way to do it. So you could bring on a relative, someone who is familiar to comic characters, and you could kind of have him as the stand-in Iron Man. I had always maintained that that was the way to go, because Iron Man was always sort of the lead of the MCU, because Iron Man was the first MCU film. He introduced us to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. However, Kevin Feige is denying that that is the case. I doubt it a little bit, just because there's so many rumors coming out. And also, it seems that Kevin Feige is planning his exit strategy. He is obviously unhappy with how, but when Bob Iger returned, how he is running things. And one of the things people are starting to figure out is Kevin Feige wasn't really the genius behind the Marvel Cinematic Universe. The blueprint had been written long before Kevin Feige even got on board. Remember, Kevin Feige was doing the X-Men films before they, or I should say when they were with Fox, before they were acquired by Disney. So now that he has fully sort of taken over, the cracks in the ship, so to speak, are starting to form. And apparently there's like rumors that other studios want him to come on to handle other ventures, and it's possible Disney wants to give him a graceful exit, as even though he wasn't really the architect of the MCU, he at least led it for a couple of years really well. And so they want to give him a send-off. He made the company billions, and of course he's losing all that money right now. But I just think that what Marvel needs to do is they need to refocus. They need to bring back some of the early heavy hitters. Like I said in a previous video, now that Kathleen Kennedy, she has won the Lucasfilm Civil War at Star Wars. Jon Favreau, maybe he wants to move on. Maybe they can move him to the MCU. He is a fantastic director. He directed the first two Iron Man films. Iron Man 2 is underrated. Fight me in the comments. I don't care. And he also directed films like Elf. He played the character of Happy Hogan, which, by the way, for a while, Happy Hogan was Iron Man in the comics. I'm kind of over passing down the mantles. I used to enjoy it when it was like Bruce Wayne passing on to his son Terry McGinnis, and even in the comics during the 1 Year Later saga when Dick Grayson was Batman, I didn't mind it so much. But now legacy characters have become an excuse for lazy writings, and also as a way to promote the corporate blackmail scheme known as DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion. All those woke nonsense talking points. It's become a way to make an excuse for that, and also for a pathway to give writers an excuse if they don't know how to continue on with Peter Parker's story. No problem. We'll kill off Peter Parker and put insert new diverse character here. We're seeing that across the board, and it's just become a lazy way of telling the story. Terry McGinnis, like I said, was well written by Bruce Timm and his collaborators. He was a good character, but Damian Wayne has not been a good character. Harley Quinn has not been a good character to replace Batman. The list goes on and on. All of this, ridiculous forced woke diversity has just ruined the characters, and you can tell that it is affecting the bottom line of these companies. So I really hope that they wake up to this fact, that they would treat these Marvel superheroes better. We can say Kevin Feige's on his way out, but people have been reporting that Kathleen Kennedy was on her way out. I've even said several times, I don't believe some rumors, I believe others. It just goes on and on. Disney, which owns Marvel, is determined not to make money, and I don't know why. They just want to keep pressing it. They want to keep pushing it, and it's no wonder that there is a hostile takeover attempt at the House of Mouse. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope that you'll give it a thumbs up, that you'll leave me a comment, tell me what you think, that you'll share it out with your friends, and of course, consider subscribing to StudioJake. I cover all kinds of nerd and pop culture topics, including film, television, anime, comic books, and so much more. I hope that you'll also head over to my main website, StudioJakeMedia.com, where I have even more news, views, and commentary. Also, if you'd like to support the channel, head over to my locals page. That's studiojakemedia.locals.com. It's the best way to support me. I'm trying to build a little community there. I have exclusive reviews and articles, so definitely head over there and check it out. And I'll see you next time right here on Studio Jake.